run into sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
And not all the time, but sometimes. And it's just like, okay, well now, me being somewhat of a control freak, I'll admit that. It's like, okay, well, if you can't do it right, I'm just going to do it myself. And
so what's your birthday?
I'm a Taurus, May 13th. Yeah, I'm a little bit, for more reasons than just business-wise, but I like to have a certain standard, and I'm okay with a certain standard if I did it. So if you don't do it at least as well as I do it,
what's the point?
I'm not doing it.
He's like, what's the point?
Right. So I'm not going to pay somebody else for something. And I don't even set it up to where, you know what, this is how many, let's do a contract. You want to do how many videos I'm going to pay you now. This covers whatever you put in this contract.
Right.
Okay, cool. So let's get it done. And sometimes, like I said, it's doing good up here, and then it starts falling off. And you know me, I'm always referring. I refer people all over the place. I have clients that might need the same thing. I'm going to refer you on. I'm going to say, hey, you need somebody that does videography and photography. You know how many videographers and photographers I have. Or I know. So I would have to know availability, the quality of the work, and all these other things before I can refer you on. So why not use it myself first?
Absolutely.
That makes the most sense. But yeah, I have, like I said, so many videographers and photographers around me, including I call him my brother-in-law, my kid's uncle. But he's not always available. He might be busy.
So, last question, what advice would you give to someone that's on the fence between, working a job or, I would say, jumping off the porch?
Well, the cool thing about entrepreneurship is that you can do it with a job. You can have a job and still be an entrepreneur. I think sometimes people will jump into entrepreneurship too quickly without having a good foundation. You can work a job and then take part of that job and invest into your own business.
It's true. A lot of people one thing I got sick of people saying, you work a job. I'm like, yeah, but I make more than you.
But see, people who are real successful entrepreneurs, let's say that. Let me say that one more time.
One more time.
Real successful entrepreneurs understand that we need workers and employees.
Hello.
If we all were entrepreneurs, we wouldn't even have employees ourselves. So, I literally have payroll. I have, right now, all year, I have one person who's my staff who works with me all year part-time. And then, of course, I'm my own employee. I'm a full-time employee of my business. Well, Joy, how does that work? It means Joy's business, JLW Tax and Financial Services, pays Joy as an employee of W-2. That's the real game. I'm an employee, but I'm an employee that controls what I make and controls my hours and controls what I do. So you definitely, if everybody was a business owner, I wouldn't have anybody to hire.
Right.
So you gotta have people to hire. And we need business owners. We need employees. If I'm going to order something from the office supply store, I need an employee there to put my order together for me. In fact, I need somebody who's really good at their job, so I don't really have to think about it too much and say, hey, I need this. Oh yeah, you need this, I got you. I was an excellent employee before I was an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
So, that's another thing. You can't be
everybody wants to be a boss, but nobody wants to be a worker. You got to be a good worker before you're a boss.
And not only that, being a business owner, you're never not learning. You're always learning new stuff. You're always learning new trends. You're always in some form of training or networking event or things. I work more hours as a business owner than I worked as an employee. It is not for the faint of heart. Like I said, I'll go into my office maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning because I don't like early mornings. But I'll leave there at 1, 2 o'clock the next morning sometimes.
But is it really work?
It is.
if it's doing something you love, does it really work?
But it still work.
I know, but does it really work, though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel you. I'll be in the studio till 1 o'clock, but I
your
love
ups
it.
and downs, you know, your mountains and your valleys when it comes to a business. You know, you have the good things and things you love about your business,
Oh,
even
course.
if you love it. You know, and then you have things that you have to deal with sometimes that you don't love.
People.
That part, but people is what pay you. So,
Right.
you know, you can have a certain level of, you know, I'm going to take, you know, this much from you, and that's still my standards. You still can't talk to me any kind of way just because I'm a business owner or a small business owner. But I am also still going to grant you the same customer service that you should get somewhere else, if not better.
Right, of course.
Way better. So, you know, some people you do have to be like, okay, like I told you earlier, our money is not good money. You have to
Right,
tell
of
them,
course. That's the
like,
point.
you know, no thank you.
Right.
I mean, you
Some
need
people
my business.
aren't worth the
no
time,
thank
aren't
you.
worth the money.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
And being a very giving, open-hearted person, you know, I have learned that I had to create boundaries.
so you being a giving-hearted person, that means
Right.
you definitely have to learn through trial and tribulation.
Exactly. And I actually had someone who, you know, let's just say an unmelanated group of people who was at a higher position when it comes to corporate America. And she actually advises corporate businesses, so like huge companies. And she said to me, I was in a group, again, I'm always networking, always in certain things. And she said, the people who enter into your services automatically saying, I got a doozy, you know, I got, you know, all this stuff going on and I really need your help and it's a mess and all those key words that, you know, people will tell you this is about to be a headache. She said, you don't discount. So for me, you know, growing up in the church and the giving nature and just who I am at the core, you know, when I hear somebody who's going through it and has a challenge and, you know, oh, this is a mess and I'm just traumatized by my current, I'm like, oh, yeah, the empathy. I'm very empath, actually. So I'm very empathetic to people. So it makes me want to be like, well, you know what, I got you. I'll take care of you and all this other stuff. But those people are the biggest headaches and they give you the most hell. And I had to learn. She told me, she said, those are the people you add tax to. You don't take it away from it.
Exactly.
You know, and I just had to learn that. So I don't necessarily do it all the time, but I keep that in mind at least that, okay, don't discount, at least don't discount. You might not add tax to it, but you can't discount something that somebody's already telling you is going to be a headache. You know, my price point has been something I've struggled with a lot, and I think a lot of business owners do. Especially small business owners, especially, you know, our own culture, because our own culture will make you feel guilty for your price mark when they will go somewhere else,
and pay it, no problem.
and pay it with no issue.
Pay more.
Pay more. My kids actually struggle with that. Their classmates in school sometimes to tell them, well, you know, if it was Nike or something, I would buy a hoodie from you. I would pay, you know, $50 for it. But they don't understand that this particular hoodie has 5 different colors on it, which means it's expensive to print. You know, and I think actually it might have 6. But
it's a nice hoodie.
But you know, it costs a lot to print, and even though my price point is like
good quality,
it is, and I love our T-shirts and the quality of the hoodie.
It's a nice
like literally, I've had this hoodie for 2 years, washed regularly, and it still holds the colors and everything, and not cracked or anything. So definitely, the quality is a question when, especially switching to online or direct order. My son is concerned about the quality of the items still being the same. But so I told him, you don't know unless you try. You can try it out and see. Order one first, you know. But
drop shipping isn't that bad.
Yeah.
They're not that bad.
Who is it?
I said drop shipping.
Drop shipping, yeah.
You gotta
And
find
that's
the
what
right
I think he would do.
manufacturer.
Yeah, I think they would do way better if they just did direct to ship or direct to print or something like that. But yeah, just understanding that, you know, your price is your price. Understanding that you're offering value to it, and people will pay it. The right customer